Welcome to the Stock Volatility Box platform. In this video series, I'll show you how to use the Stock Volatility Box platform to find the very best trade setups based on your custom trading style. We'll walk through both day trades and swing trades as we walk through the entire platform, and I'll show you ways to make it work for you. In this first video, we're going to take a look at the dashboard. The dashboard gives you an overview of the volatility for every single day, and I think is a great place to start your mornings. On the dashboard, here's what you'll find. As the day progresses, this number is constantly updating. It gives you an idea of how many volatility box breaches do we have for the day. The higher the number, the higher this number of total breaches, that means the greater the volatility. As you start to pay more attention to the scanner, you'll start to understand and also have a relative scale. For example, 700 is a very average number. It gives you an idea that today's volatility, not that much. Which direction was that volatility? A little bit more on the short side. We can see 404 versus 398. That means the bulls had a little bit more control, a little bit more long side bias. So we see that here. The green on the left-hand side tells you that we have the long side bias because we had more shorts. That means we had more of a rally triggering shorts looking for that reversal. So bulls in control. And the market bias helps put that together. If it's a strong move, we'll see this say bullish. Today, not so much a strong move, 58%, hence neutral market bias. A little bit more tilted towards the bullish side if you had to choose, but otherwise neutral. Now on the left-hand side inside of this box, this is one of my favorite new features of the platform. It gives you an idea of the market overview for the major markets along with the major sectors. So you'll see, for example, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and the Russell. And you'll see that there's colors behind each of these boxes. These colors represent the market stage that that particular index market is in. So if you see yellow, for example, with the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, we know that it's in a market stage of accumulation. You contrast that with the NASDAQ and the Russell, which are in a market stage of acceleration, gives you an idea where you have a little bit more bullish strength. So tech stocks, tech sectors, small cap names that show up on the scanner for long side setups all have a little bit more bias in my eyes given their market stage. Now, same thing goes for the sectors as well. If you take a look at the sectors here, it's very easy to see which sectors are leading the way, which sectors are leading the way bearishly as well. So for example, bullish setups are ones where you might have a little bit more bullish bias: healthcare, utilities, and tech. Where might you have a little bit more bearish bias? Financials, so XLF, and materials, XLB. So with this information, now when you come into the live scanner, you know which setups you're looking to catch your eye a little bit more, which direction you have your bias. Now, speaking of the scanner, you'll be able to see a quick preview of the latest trades, the latest best trades aligning with the trend, etc., on the right-hand side inside of recent signals. The quickest way to get to the scanner is to also just click View All Signals here, or click the scanner button on the left-hand side, which is the second icon. You can also expand the menu if you would like. Now, one feature that's standard as we go through all of these pages is this button in the top right-hand corner. It allows you to toggle between dark mode and light mode, and for those of you that prefer one mode versus the other, you can go ahead and switch now, and the platform will save those settings just so everything you choose and configure is essentially safe, so you don't have to keep doing it every single time. Now here we can see which were the latest setups breaching our daily volatility box models and which were the latest setups breaching our hourly volatility box models. We'll cover the differences between these models later on in our onboarding series. For right now, just know that there's the difference between those two models: daily volatility box models and hourly volatility box models. And on a high level, just know that daily models means one level for every single day, one level for the aggressive, one level for the conservative. Hourly models, you'll see one level for every single hour of the day for each of these symbols for both the aggressive and the conservative. And if I show you an example of what that looks like, just really quickly, you'll see daily models, one level for the day, hourly models, one level for every single hour, and these models change. So that's just a quick overview of the daily versus the hourly models. You'll also be able to see a breakdown of that inside of this pie graph, and almost always you should see that the daily models are much less than the hourly model breaches. That's because it's harder to tag our daily volatility box models. For that reason, I also like to pay a little bit more weight, a little bit more attention to those, and my eyes will almost always start with the left-hand side column here. Now, if you scroll down, the last thing you'll see on this dashboard page is this volatility timeline. Now, the volatility timeline has 3 different colors, and you'll see it updates throughout the day, and it will automatically update. You don't need to do anything here. It will tell you which direction the market was leading every single hour here. So for example, for 9 a.m., you can see long side setups, 93. That means long side setups are ones in which there's a sell-off and we're looking to buy the dip and go long. And you can see short side setups were 147. So to start off the morning, we had the bulls in control. We had far more short side setups, indicating that price is breaching the upper models and we're looking for a bearish entry here. Hence, this bar is green. So it's very easy to visually see who has control every single morning. Is it the bulls or the bears? And this is measuring with volatility, relative volatility, both with the daily and the hourly models. Now you look at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., mixed bag, neutral, more or less split down the middle. Come back to noon, this is the East Coast lunchtime hour, and the 1 p.m., 2 p.m., again, very clearly, the bulls are in control. It's only the final hour where you can see that we finally saw some sell side activity, some profit taking, where now we had a lot more long side setups, very clearly, 60 versus 22. So that on a high level is how to use the dashboard page, how to make sense of this information. One more time to summarize. Start with taking a look at how many breaches we have. 700, very average number. Your eyes will start to train slowly and we'll have more features that make it easy to make this relative. After that, take a look and scan which markets are bullish, which markets are bearish. For those of you who are active traders, you will automatically know on the scanner which stocks are associated with which. Tech stocks, for example, that automatically catch your eye for bullish setups. For example, bearish setups that might be financials, so on and so forth. You can see a quick preview of that here. If you're a little bit more visual, you can also use these donut graphs to get an idea of who's more in control. Is it the bulls or the bears? Gives you a quick way to get a feel for which direction you want to have your bias. Finally, scroll down and use the timeline to see how is this bias changing throughout the day. In today's case, very clear that the bulls were in control all throughout the day up until the final hour. And this is updating every single day as the day progresses. So as the hour finishes, you'll be able to see that, hey, the bulls were in control as the next 10 a.m. hour finishes, so on and so forth. So very useful to get a feel for who's in control. Combine that with the market overview, and all of a sudden you have volatility and trend on your side. In the next video, we're going to dive deep into the live scanner. That's the core of the platform where I think you'll spend the most time, and I'm excited to show you how to make the most of the live scanner to find trade setups every single day. See you in the next video.